Season 2 Gold League. I'm your host, Christian Toma. To my left is David Williams. Make sure to check us out, guys, on Facebook and YouTube, /WGLNA. If you're not watching this on Battlefield.com, go over there right now and check it out. I'll give you guys a second to do that. And finally, follow us on Twitter @WGLNA, so you guys can stay up to date on what's happening in the community around you and answer for us the question of the day.
Which is, which Tier 10 tank has the most effective armor?
So my answer was the T-22, effective being kind of like trolly and unpredictable. You don't know where. And so far, I went back and looked at all the detailed kind of reports, and the T-22 is leading the charge with most damage blocked by armor. David, what about you?
FE215B, although T-22 is a great answer on its own.
Super fun, guys. Let us know which one you guys think has the most effective armor as we're getting ready to go into our next battle. We have High Voltage versus 07. On the side of High Voltage, we have Tofu Smurf. On the side of 07, we have Meadowhawk. Gentlemen, welcome to the face-off. Tofu Smurf, going to go ahead and start out with you. You guys did make a roster changes. You added another thief, this one being a thief of rats. How do you guys feel like he is going to fit into the team, or where is his kind of place?
So far he's fitting pretty well. He's been in a lot of the practices, still learning the ropes, and he might play tonight. I actually don't know for sure, but I'm sure he'll fit in just fine. He's a good player. He's a smart player, and it's just about learning, you know, getting accustomed to everybody else and learning our strats and whatnot. So
great. Well, if he plays, can't wait to see him.
Which Tier 10 tank do you think has the most effective armor, Tofu?
the only answer for any Tier 10 tank question will be Mouse for the rest of the season. So.
Mouse, and mouse.
Challenge accepted, Tofu. Challenge accepted.
We'll see where that goes.
Yeah.
Meadowhawk, now over to you. Now, you actually were one of the teams that did not make a roster change. Just walk me kind of through the decisions behind that.
We felt we were good where we're at. You know, for the most part, our attendance has been no issue, unlike the last couple of seasons. So people are around. We're hopefully starting to bond as a team. So no need to, you know, kick anybody out. No one's being a nuisance.
No need to mix it up. All right, I like it. Can't wait to see you guys continue as you progress through the season.
I mean, with the fire-setting 3v1 master on your bench, what else?
Yeah, wait.
Who are you going to recruit?
That's so true.
Well,
That's
you know.
so true.
The guy with the fire's got to keep the bench warm, right? So
Makes sense.
We gotta keep the fire in the face-offs.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's what we bring
We
him here
didn't
for.
start the fire.
Oh, wow. Meadowhawk, which Tier 10 tank do you think has the most effective armor that isn't the mouse?
that isn't the mouse. I would have to go. Usually, it's going to be any new Tier 10 heavy that's come out because no one knows where to shoot it. It was like that with the VK, the special Clan War tank. That was great for about 2 months when nobody knew where to shoot it, and then after that, it quickly fell off, much like the E100. But overall, I'd have to agree that the IS-4 can be super trolly with that Lap said. It's always a good bet in pubbies.
All right. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much. Before we get into the battle, Tofu Smurf, is there anything like you would like to say to Meadowhawk before we get started?
Just have fun, you guys.
All right, Meadowhawk, your response?
What I wanted to relay to High Voltage is that our lead conductor, Fosta, he's blown a fuse with our current rank in the grid. So he's transformed us. He's kind of grounded us, made us switch to positive thinking. So we're going to come out of the gate amped at a full charge, where we hope to generate an unparalleled game, take out any kind of resistance that'll keep the series short, and I'm sure it'll electrify everybody.
Wow, thank you so much, gentlemen. Best of luck to both of you, and we'll see you shortly. I wrote that. I think that was 23 puns. That's a record. That is a new record.
A lot of electrical words used in that situation. I loved it. Nothing else to say about it.
Very
So High
static
Voltage
sentence.
brought on Rat Thief. 07 brought on no one. High Voltage still preferring Steps, or as they like to call it, Steppies. And the T-22 with Blue Boys Captain now in the lead for points for them. 07, Himmelsdorf is their preferred map, along with E5. Don't usually see E5s on Himmelsdorf lately. I guess we see a few here and there.
Okay.
It's not necessarily the first tank I would think of. But Vetro was, forever will be their point leader, more likely than not.
Well, one thing I would like to say, B-Ted and Tim were talking about in the kind of the pre-show, the fantasy breakdown. When you were looking at the player stats on the team, it was very intermixed between both. It wasn't just like you have like, oh, here's High Voltage and here's 07. I mean, both were kind of like player kind of back and forth alternating. So these teams, I mean, very player base, still very even. So like you said, this is why you're excited to see this kind of matchup. It'll be interesting to kind of see where this goes. And I'm also interested to see that we're starting out on Cliff. So that's gonna be kind of fun to watch both these teams kind of battle it out there.
Metal Hawk brought up something interesting about people not knowing where to shoot, and that, in my opinion, starts to have an aspect of effective armor on its own. Because
sure.
say, for example, the IS-7 and the IS-4, they have great armor. And that IS-7 might have been my choice just because I played it for a long time and I know how to use the armor very well, when to wiggle, when not to, that kind of stuff. But they're well-known high armor tanks. So people aren't as likely to take shots at them. So you're not using your armor as effectively as you could.
Interesting.
It's part of what I like about the 215 and why I'm sure there's at least a handful of people in chat right now who are like, 215, are you crazy? But no, because there's still a number of people who don't necessarily know where to penetrate it or to pull wider on the angle to shoot it in the side, and that's actually very easy to penetrate.
That's the effective of it.
And the DPM of it scares people, so it lets you kind of wiggle around, and it lets you make the armor more effective with its personal traits.
That sounds fun.
And people are still willing to take shots at it because they think, how could I not penetrate this? And then they bounce.
All right, well, let us know in chat right now. Do you think David's crazy or not in that statement? And if you do, he's going to totally show you why he's
On
right.
that statement, not in general, 'cause
No.
we know you already think I'm crazy. 'Cause I am.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next match is about to get underway. It is 07 versus High Voltage, starting out on Cliff. Let's see what we've got for tanks.
High Voltage with a bat shot of 430, an STB, 2 T22s, a TVP, and an RU-251, 07 with 2 bat shots, 2 907s, a T22, and 2 Skodas. The STB is an interesting choice here. It's similar in many ways to the Leopard 1, if any of you have played one and not the other. But it has a worse gun, but better turret armor is pretty much what it comes down to. The Leo has no armor, which is interesting for a German tank. Got to play it a good bit. Maybe we'll see it sometime today as Googly Bobbers will play, and then we'll get to talk about it a little bit more. But right now, High Voltage in 07 stepping up to meet for the first time in the middle tonight.
Let's see who comes out on top here. Smooth Molasses. That is a name that we have not seen. Getting spotted out there in that bat chat. And High Voltage definitely taking the top of the hill because it looks like 07 is going for the donut. Let's see who kind of comes on top here. Smooth Molasses getting surrounded there, but Blue Boy's Captain taking 100 points of damage. Looks like he was not expecting all those guns to be pointed in his direction. 1764, and Smooth Molasses is going to take down Blue Boy's Captain. And that is the first tank falling for High Voltage.
There's your problem. And I don't know what else to say about that. That was a suicidal endeavor. Probably thought he had a couple more people coming up behind him. Looked too good to be true, if you ask me. Bad chat, just sitting there, doughy-eyed in the corner.
Hey,
Tears
don't come
glistening
hit
in the
me.
sun. Please don't shoot me, sir. I'm all alone. But he's not, and he still has 5 shots, so he's a threat on his own. But Blue Boy's fallen for that one. And oh, nope, I have Ox Thief. All is okay for now.
Taking a breath there. Now Tiger Thief taking a shot. 1705 going into him. But again, 07 already up HP-wise, up a tank.
Not all is well. Ox isn't playing.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Rat's in and Ox is out.
Well, welcome Rat Thief. I have Ox and Blue Boy's Captain here. So cool. All right, guys. Just again, keeping you updated on fantasy and how things are going there.
Bad. We'll put it that way. Things are going bad for pretty much everybody in chat right now. Because Ox is typically like 42+% picked out of everybody around. And then you have to factor the fact that there's probably a good bit of people who picked Ox a long time ago and haven't changed their roster since. Maybe don't do fantasy anymore. Or who don't. Down. So the number is usually lower than it should be. I honestly wonder how many people are getting factored that don't, or that aren't actively playing that day. Or perhaps Hip is smarter than me and has already sorted that out.
Oh, Rat Thief.
There's a good chance.
Rat Thief looks like he wants to take down this Smooth Molasses by himself. Smooth just being now unlit. Rat Thief coming around the R251 being safe to make sure he's not taking any route that is going to get him spotted too soon. Rock's taking a shot there on the side of 07. Rat popping up. Not quite seeing Smooth Molasses yet. Smooth Molasses now starting to move. This could be bad news bears for this bat chat. Playing it safe, kind of trying to find some angles to get in. Little does he know, right behind him, Rat Thief, waiting to say, I'm here, I'm new, this is me.
Oh,
Smooth Molasses
is spotted. Rat has his target. There is a decent vector for him to get in there, but he will be exposed to a lot of 07 if he attempts it. Maybe he could sneak one through. A heat round through a lot of that rubble is not going to pay off.
Oh. Looks like
But he won't need one.
Oh, looks like Smooth Molasses. No, the second shot there going off as well. Just kind of.
He's blind firing at that point.
Smooth is not lit up there, so he doesn't know quite where he's at. He's taking the shots. Not being spotted out himself, though, so safely firing, if I might add. Foster there. And let's go to T50 taking the shot. Dropping him to just above half health here. A very interesting kind of a steps game starting to develop. High Voltage is a tank down. 07 a tank up, but that might not be the case here. Again, Smooth Molasses is low. He is now lit up again. Bird Thief looks like he was the one to take it up. Oh, Rat Thief now a spot as well. His kind of his secret is up. Takes 318, and I'm sure he should just, maybe he's not going to give up on that. He's going to stay. He'll be able to find someone. Rocks taking a lot of damage. Meanwhile, the T50. He's on the reload here. High Voltage just could pop over the side, take a shot at him. Rat Thief taking the shot as well, just missing. Going right over the top there of him. Wall hacks popping up a little too aggressively, and he is getting focused down by 07. In that batch, had taken over 1,000 points of HP there. 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. 07 is on offense, but they are doing a great job here. Over 2,000 points of HP in the lead. And now David, this is where I kind of feel like it's kind of awkward here on Cliff, because it's that you push over the side and you're going to expose yourself to a lot of guns. How does 07 get around that? Well, looks like they're just going to do it now by pushing as one.
Perhaps both teams essentially just hiding from one another a lot of the time, but now 07's going to go big, and Bird is caught out in the open.
634 going to him, 1,000 now from the back. One more shot. Mako's looking for him, but Smooth Molasses finds the second one of the night. Bird Thief goes down in his 50-51, and now it is going to be Ant Thief getting focused. Warbanner takes him down. He gets annihilated. Foster takes down Wall Hacks. High Voltage is dropping like flies, one after the other here on Eclipse. 07 starting out strong. And as they continue this push, it looks like they're going to turn this into a victory here. Tiger Thief getting surrounded, 878 going to him. Looks like there is nothing High Voltage can do to stop what 07 is doing to them right now. Synergy 3K taking down Tiger Thief, and they're going to continue pushing, trying to find Arclet there in the T22. He gets tracked. One more shot from Warbander is going to end him in that 907. And now it is just Rat Thief, the man who is now 07 is going to say, hey, welcome to the league. Oh, are we going to see what Simp did last time? They're going to push him off the cliff. Rat Thief making sure he can stay clear of that one. He is lit up, does 281 there into Fosta, and 07 now knows where he is, barreling down on his position. 333 going to him, Synergy 3K. No, not taking the shot, it's Makos, and 07 fighting the first victory here against High Voltage on to Cliff. And all kind of really started from that overcommitment from Blue Boys captain. That kind of just, oh, let's just go over the hill, take him down, gets focused up, and kind of then back and forth, and that was it, really.
Yep, let's check out the stats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All day.
Get to the point where I don't even need to do the analysis anymore, Christian. You can just handle it. You just do all of it, and I'll stand here and fly some cameras and click on people in the stat screen.
Yeah,
Vetro,
that should go well.
2553 with a 907. Synergy 3K, 2394 in his T22. Skoda T50, driven by Fosta, putting up 2100. Smooth Molasses, 1700. And there you have it. Over here, for High Voltage, 2.2 out of Arclit, Ant with 2,000, Bird with 1.6. And you know who didn't bounce? Well, he still managed to bounce 1,000.
T22.
But he needed to bounce a lot more than that to stay alive after what he did. Blue Boys going down pretty early, 320. Rat Thief surprisingly only getting 281. In his 281, or in his 251, I thought he had more connections than that.
Huh.
There was at least one where he fired kind of center, and it looked like he hit pretty hard, but maybe other people shot and it bounced from our angle. It's nigh impossible to see sometimes.
Hard to see those angles, indeed. And that's another mark for the T22. So the T22 bouncing or absorbing the most damage by armor there for that battle. Looking better and better.
That's where it gets into that whole thing of baiting out shots. The T22 it's troll bouncy.
Yeah.
It's one of these things where you think you can pen it.
Yeah,
you
got
can't.
it. Oh,
so
why?
It's got a very good chance of leading tonight in the overall most bounced. Very good chance.
We will see, guys. Again, let us know. That is the kind of the question of the day. Which tier 10 tank has the most effective armor? And again, effective being the term that we were kind of throwing back and forth. It's like not just the most armor, but the most effective armor. So let us know right now in chat which tier 10 tank you think that is as we get ready to go into the next battle between 07 and High Voltage. 07 is up 1. We're switching sides. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
I don't know who to thank for this, but Ox is back in the game. Sorry, Rat. It's nothing against you. I just need my fantasy points, as do so many of our viewers who are probably breathing a collective sigh of relief, large enough to create a weather pattern over the world. 07 with a bat shot, 2 907s, 2 T22s, and 2 Skoda T50s, high voltage with 2 50Ps, a Leopard 1, 2 T22s, a TVP, and an RU251. The Leopard 1. Real Leopard.
Now, the Leopard 1 this is a tank that I just started playing today. Amazing in public matches. We were
Yeah.
talking about this tank.
Yeah, so I had played it a while back when it had first come out, and I didn't play it that much. So I didn't get a particularly great experience with it. It was like, oh, it's cool, it's sniping, but it's not that great overall.
Sure.
Different time. I played it recently, and it's a great tank in public matches. It's soft, but we're going to talk about that after this fight.
Donut fight going
Blue Boy's
through.
already going down.
Rock's picking him up there, and that's Skoda T50, and Bird Thief taking 1,700 himself. One more shot, we go down. Mako's committing so hard for that one of that T22, and he picks it up, and that is already 2 tanks fallen for high voltage. 07 looking great so far onto Cliff, and now Arclit is on reload. Fossa and Vetro sent over to take care of him. At 2v1, let's see if they can do it. Fossa is reloaded as well. He has 3 shots left, 1 just missing Arclit. The second connecting for a 311. Tiger Thief taking 1,100 points of damage himself from Smooth Molasses, who has been an amazing player so far here. On to 07. 245 going to him on the back chat. He's just holding on to that final shot. Arclit does have him ready and uploaded. 50B, let's see who he takes him down. Looks like he can't even take it on anyone because Vetro is going to take him down. And that is another tank falling for high voltage. 07 still has all 7
Synergy,
players.
3K on the hunt, going for 2 one-shots in a
look at
row.
that.
Tiger Thief goes down. Mako's getting another shot at Ant Thief. He's going to take a little bit in return, but Synergy's going to clean him up right now with another kill. And Mako, Smooth Molasses, the rest of 07 collapsing on the remaining 2 tanks for high voltage.
Man.
An RU251 and Ox all by himself. A great start for 07 so far tonight.
Doing a fantastic job coming in here for our second match of the night. Ox Thief, nothing you can do, buddy. Fossa takes him down. Another kill for him. That is going to be 07's second victory against high voltage, and that is a victory. I mean, those are those things we talk about. It's like, that's not like ooh, that was a close. I mean, all 7 members of 07 were up. A fantastic play. They caught out 2 members kind of going down for the donut. Which is interesting, because usually when we see teams, check the donut, either they put all of their members there and send 1 up over to to deal with the rest of the people on the cliff to get the spots, or we see 1 member go to the donut to scout out, and the rest. That high voltage sent 2 there, which is something that I didn't really see. Do you know why do you think they did that?
Just to make sure they can muscle up on that corner if other people poke around. Let's go to the statistics, and we'll talk about it a little bit more after that. First things first. Whew. Wallhack's the only one even breaking 1,000 for high voltage. Rough times. Almost didn't even matter that Ox was back in for our fantasy.
No.
Sorry, everybody. But this right here is why I went split on the team. Remember that?
There you go.
But even still, Vetro is not top earner. Oh, it's going to be a salty night. Rocks leading off 07 with 3,000. Synergy with 2.2.
Wow.
Makos with 1.9. Warbender with 1.8. Vetro with 1.7. Smooth Blast with 1.1, along with Fossa at 1.1 himself. Did anybody bounce a reasonable amount in here?
Yeah, T22.
Blocked by armor by the T22. And...
Dink.
Sorry. Nope. T22 wins again. Granted, there's nothing else to really challenge it in this. Out of all the tanks, out of all the tanks that were played in that last game, the only one I would even consider having effective armor is the T22. So, whatever.
Maybe skewed a little bit.
I guess the STB in the hull down a little bit. A little bit.
Which we haven't talked about
little
tonight.
bit. It's tricky.
You're talking about hold down.
We didn't get a chance to talk about the Leopard because 07 so rudely interrupted
Yeah.
with their wonderful
Thanks.
meta play.
Thanks, 07. But
I've been wondering where this is. Remember at the beginning of the season we were talking about there's nothing else to do besides meet in the middle and fight it out?
yeah.
This is why. You will play in the 1-2, set up a meta trap for it, you're going to lose.
This is what happens.
Right. So every other part of the map is relatively uncontrollable besides the middle. And you have to play perfectly in the middle.
This is why we want just Cliff for every single game, guys. 07 is up now 2-0 against high voltage. Let's see if they can continue that, or if high voltage can start coming back. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
That whole thing can work 2 ways, though. If high voltage approached that with a little bit more caution, they could have caught them there,
Yeah.
pushed back, left them stranded in the top or in the bottom, while they took top control. A lot of different things you can do. We'll talk about that maybe if we have time. High voltage with a bat shot of 430 and STB, 2 T22s, a TVP, and RE51. 07 with a bat shot, 2 907s, 2 T22s, 2 Skoda T50s.
Whoa, that was quick.
Just trying to make sure we get it out of the way so we can see the distribution of people. Wallhack's going to go check the 1-2 by himself in the RU-251. Now he knows it's clear. That's about as much as I'd be willing to risk in that area personally. And everybody else, they're not playing games with it anymore. We're going right to the middle, and we're going to find out who is best on the outside of this hill right now. It's Makos and Blue Boys meet head-to-head.
Will it be High Voltage? Will it be 07? So far, it's been 07. Let's see if they can continue it as Arklet takes 1344 in that T22. A couple more shots, and he'll be going down, but nice damage being spread against 07 as well. Makos taking him down there. A T22 falling out. Bird Thief is the focus. 1164. He's going to get out of there on that 50-51. He is on reload. And who on the side is low for 07? It looks like it is Vetro who's going to get out of there as well. But Wallhack's looking for that shot. Rock takes down Tiger Thief. Wallhack's 234 going to Vetro. One more and he can take down that 907. He's actually looking for Foster now. 241 going to him. Meanwhile, Blue Boys captain getting absolutely lit up there. 1,200 points of damage going to him. Warbanner going to find it. But now High Voltage on the return. 3 kills back-to-back. Vetro, Foster, and Rocks go down for 07. Then High Voltage are starting to claw their way back. The HP, though, still in a huge favor on the side of 07. Anthief, one more shot away from going down. Smooth Molasses has to be careful. Ox Thief going ham to take him down. One more shot, he'll find him. But Warbanner takes down Anthief. Synergy 3K doing a great job pulling Ox off the side of the hill. Makos finds Bird Thief, and Ox Thief looks like he'll be going down, leaving just Wallhacks in the RU-251. 07 have done it again. They have taken it head-to-head against High Voltage and have come out on top. Makos with that shot, the T22. Now that is 07's now 3rd victory.
Smooth Molasses and Synergy, the way they just managed that.
What
Ox
in
was
the
trying
world?
to guarantee he could take out the other Batchat before it reloaded, because if that Batchat reloaded, it was game over.
Yeah.
So he had to go big for it. Synergy blocked a lot of the critical shots.
It was like pushing him
Smooth
down the
Molasses
hill.
took a loop to take his momentum and then use it against him. He starts going downhill as Smooth Molasses is going uphill. You're creating a distance between you two faster. Right, obviously, if you're going opposite directions, you're going faster. But he thought he was going towards him. I'd have to draw it to really explain it. But 07, still killing it so far.
Great
My
job.
guess is Wallhacks took #1 in high voltage damage. Let's look.
Let's check it out. What a battle.
As I look at you all like I'm insane on camera. Synergy 3K 2.8 in his T22. That's just incredible. They played so well in the outside corner. Smooth Molasses 28-37 and a Batchat is to even go toe-to-toe with the T22s in that. It says a lot about how that team oriented. They let him stay in the game, and he played very well on top of it. Makos, 25-02, perhaps putting his hat in the ring for most bounce, but 4 cleanup kills.
Wow.
A great job there. Now let's go. Nope, Ox is going to take the lead. Holy perfect 10,
snap.
3900.
Ox Mathis.
Well done, sir.
Oh,
Well
man.
done. Not enough to carry what happened there, though. Followed up by Bird with 2,000. Wallhack's actually only got 844. I really thought he was going to do a lot more damage than that. Sorry, was this?
Oh, the D22 again, 1600. Gotcha.
Oh, 1,600. Yep. T22 wins again. No surprise there. If you just look at the lineup side to side between these two teams right now, personally, I feel like the lineup for 07 is better for Cliff. They've brought high DPM, reasonable armor, just enough auto-loading potential, no tier 8 to double up on the Skodas instead. It's a vicious head-to-head. If you meet them there, they're going to win. They're going to win. And High Voltage did almost, I'm not sure if it was accidental or not, Arclight got lit up very early. Took a lot of shots out, which let High Voltage kind of counter-push. If High Voltage had counter-pushed hard at that point in time, it may have worked.
Really?
But you've got to get the right vector, and you've got to isolate the right people at the right time. Let's get into this battle, because I cannot wait to see what happens this time.
All right, a final one on a Cliff. 07 is up 3-0. Can they make it 4, or can High Voltage pick up a victory? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
High Voltage with a Batchat of 430, an STB, 2 T22s, a TVP, and RU-251. 07 with a Batchat, 2 907s, 2 T22s, and 2 Skoda T50s. As the match just gets started. Man, again, look at that. 1 Batchat, 2 Skodas. You have 11 autoloader shots.
That's fighting.
Right in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Then the 907 is slightly lower DPM than a 140, but better armor in some ways. Better armor configuration, depending on kind of what you're going to be and what your preference is. Then over here, 2 T22s, obviously a mainstay on this map. I feel like approaching this map without T22s is absurd. They shut down check tanks so well. 07 staying with their trap before, doing it in a nice way where they lead with the T22. You see that? To lead with the T22s into 907. Then you got another 907 escorting 2 T50s.
Okay.
That makes it to where if you unload on the T22s first, which you're likely to do, the check tanks come in with relative impunity and just hammer you.
You also got that troll armor on
But
the
you-
T-22s.
Right, and you can't ignore the T-22.
Yep.
It's a well-staggered assault over there. There's a lot of finesse in how to win that 1-2 fight if you hit head-to-head. Clearly, 07's practiced it. Ox already getting lit up quite a bit. Bird taking 302. Ox now 429 down. He has 2 shots left in his clip. He's going to try and take down Smooth Molasses and make it all worth it. And he
gonna
does.
do it.
Still a great player, Ox, trying to get his hat in the ring and bring this home for High Voltage. That's a good first step. Bird and
Wow.
Ant taking combined 1,000 as 07's trying to bring it home for themselves.
Foster taking a lot of damage though in that T-50, having to back off there from the donut, trying to get some cover there. As the rest of High Voltage was able to kind of light him up, and now 1 tank down for 07. Still all 7 for High Voltage, and Ox Thief this time just gives him more time to reload and pull out some phenomenal plays in that bat chat. Wallhacks having to be careful there. 354 going into him. Makos is actually just going to start chasing him down there on the RU-251.
That's
Not
a
a
good
lot of places
cue.
Wallhacks can go.
That's a good cue for High Voltage to start trying to counter push. They need to take
They're
advantage of
doing
this
it.
while one of the T-22s is out. Makos knows it. He's not going to keep chasing Wallhacks. He's going to leave, try and get back in this fight, but that may have been the mistake that High Voltage needs to get a win on this map.
Let's see if they can. Arklet having to back off for taking a shot as well. And now that they know that Makos is coming back, High Voltage wisely starting to back off themselves. Wallhacks gets to now reset and kind of go into position, but now that they are running, we'll see if 07 does anything here. Makos actually going all the way around, not even coming back up the top of the hill to help the team. He's just going to try to find a different position to take some shots here onto High Voltage.
I'm not sure why that happened. I mean, Wallhacks can now rotate all the way over into the east side and get on cap in the 2 cap. That is going to be a problem if he can get there. But he may be trying to keep his gun around to stay in the fight. They do have a lead in hit points and guns right now. High Voltage, even with a T-22 coming back, had an overmatch because one of the bat shots is down. Ox was loaded at the time. I'm not really sure why High Voltage disengaged there, aside from the fact that they'd be driving into an uncomfortable engagement zone. So perhaps the position alone was enough for them to not want that. But they might have been able to bring it home right then and
now
there.
that Makos is way out of the fight, this is exactly what High Voltage is looking
He's
for.
not as far as you would think.
They are sending all of their members down over on the southern side of the mountain to try to catch anyone. Synergy 3K and Tigers are going to be the first one to respond. Tigers taking 873 points of damage there. Now Vetro, 707 on the side of 07. Let's use it. Come on top. Birthday has to be careful. 619. One more shot. He'll be going down. Blue Boys captain does find Fosta in that T50. And that is another tank fallen for 07. Can they come out of this, or will High Voltage continue this? And Thief actually shoots Tiger Thief and takes him down. Whoa, that would be a terrible mistake if that is the one that kind of cost them this game here. Makos driving in to try to join the rest of the team. He's going to have to deal with Ox Thief and Wallhacks from behind. Vetro takes down Anthief there. Blue Boys captain will not be able to escape. Synergy 3K takes him down. Arklet in that T-22 will be going down. He has no one to back him up. Warbaiter finds Bird Thief there, and 07 has come back. Ox Thief takes down Makos, but Vetro finds Arklet, and now it is a 4-on-2. Ox Thief is on the reload. They see where he's at. 07 could just now push over the side and take these 2 remaining tanks if they feel like they have the confidence. But what an amazing turnaround from 07. Rocks taking down Wallhacks, and this is going to be 07 going up 4-0 against High Voltage here. Ox just barely dodging one shot, but not the second. And 07 picking up another victory, completely dominating High Voltage on Cliff. What in the world just happened there on that final battle? The friendly fire from High Voltage. I mean, just the chaos of that. And that is just something that is so catastrophic to see. It just like, oh man, that's got to throw tilt almost instantly. You're like, oh, I just shot a teammate.
It's definitely Tilt City right now.
Oh,
Let's check out the stats.
Oh, man.
As we head into our next map. Vetro with 3489 in the 907. Absolutely killing it. Makos, heroic mode when he came back there. He went one-on-one with a bat chat in RE250.
Yeah.
1v2, I should say.
Yeah, holding
and
him
he
down.
lasted a very long time. He almost killed Ox when he did it. Crazy, crazy. Bounced 1350. Surprise.
Wow.
Warbander, he actually shot a teammate of his own, 2100. Rocks, Synergy, etc. Everybody else getting their own little kind of leg into the fight. Just a tad here. And then Ox, no surprise, almost shooting a perfect 10 himself again. And we've got Bird Thief, Blue Boys. Nobody really bouncing that much besides Arklet. And Arklet had a great critical play to turn guns and get on the side of him. Perhaps more of High Voltage should have gone with him at that time. But High Voltage's brawling potential right now is looking weak. They're overthinking things, clearly.
Okay.
That happens when teams start hitting kind of the point that they're at, where they've been successful and then you falter a little bit like they did in the finals, or then like they did again most recently. And from there, you start overthinking things even more. You start getting in very awkward positions frequently, and it just starts to snowball.
doesn't help.
One team kill. That team kill did not cost them that fight.
Really?
It didn't.
Okay.
No. If somebody is one shot to the point where an STB, or I forget exactly who killed him, can shoot you in the back of the turret, you're pretty low anyways. That tank may have been able to win the fight for them, but the loss of it alone was not
gonna be-
enough.
Sure.
I mean, Ox picked up a tank for free to begin with.
That's
Mako was
true.
completely
That's
out
true.
of the fight.
That's true.
They just needed to step up and shoot. They had a massive autoloader advantage over there.
Crazy.
Should have had it. Should have had
All
it.
right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going on to Mines, the sister of Cliff. Kind of a very similar play style here. High Voltage does do very well on this map. Let's see if they can come back from a crazy deficit against 07 or 47. We'll find their final victory. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
Mines. Cliff.
This is the best.
And Prorovka. Only maps you guys are allowed to play
Yeah,
from now on.
Please, guys.
Well, maybe not pro yet.
Mines and Cliff.
People haven't figured out how to play it fast again yet. We need that time. High Voltage with a bad shot of 142, T22s, a TVP, an E3, and RU251. Definitely not playing fast with an E3. 07 with an IS7 and E5, a bad shot of 907 to T22, and 2 SCO to T50s.
All right, so High Voltage not bringing those 50Bs. So we'll be seeing, obviously they didn't feel like they don't have a way to perfect that here. Makos going to a nice little scouting bush here in that batch. That is High Voltage very aggressively sending a lot of their members down to the southwestern side. Oxy taking a shot there.
Check this out real quick. I think we have Arclit firing HE into some trees, maybe?
Huh.
No, okay, so he's destroying walls in the distance. Oh, it's pieces of a building, so he can see a little bit further. He's got clearer shots,
Oh, gotcha.
that kind of thing. I was wondering if he's actually knocking down trees, because some of these trees, due to the elevation difference, actually block things in the back, but if you knock them down, they don't. Little known trick that you can actually knock down trees with HE. And in fact, it used to be critical to Cliff.
Really?
Yes,
Everyone
there was a
HEs,
position on the
unloads on
donut
Trees.
that could fire onto ramp areas.
Okay.
From the south side, if you get in the donut, you could fire it in the northern ramp. That was very difficult to spot. But if somebody driving there shot the right tree in the right place with HE, the tree went down, and all of a sudden you could see.
That's amazing. Wow. Again, this is what I love about the study and the amount of just preparation these teams put into these maps. I mean, this isn't going to work. Guys, we can't do this. Oh, but we actually change the terrain, and it does work for us.
That is a critical part. Whenever you run a team, it's very helpful to always discuss things and try and solve a problem before vetoing something. Otherwise, you get in a situation, it's like, okay, I need you to push. And the enemy in your team says, I can't.
I'm sorry, I interrupt you. I just want to say I like now I'm seeing, maybe this is, you saw this before, but I like what High Voltage have done, sending a lot of their members down to the southwest, scaring 07 away. Before I get into this right now, Makos and Vetro pushing hard against Arclit. He's going to run right into him and Wallhacks. Let's see if High Voltage can respond. Or will 07 start finding some kills here? Makos taking 3C5. He gets lit up there. Arclit takes him down, and that is a bat chat already gone for 07. And there is no hitting the brakes here. Vetro taking 526. Foster taking 744. So much damage already going on the side of High Voltage. Commodore now taking some damage as well. That IS7. Oh, this is looking terrible for 07 right now. Fossa one more shot away. Wallhacks being careful. He is spotted out. He's on RE251, but Fossa is low. If he can find that shot, he might be able to take him out, but he's just going to kind of stay where he is. Meanwhile, Oxthiev's taking 473 from the top of the hill. 07 trying to start taking some HP back from High Voltage for all that was taken from them there. Arclit very aggressively poking over on the side, doing a shot 750 there into Vetro on that 907, and that is going to give Rocks the confidence to start putting over. Finally, one of those shots penetrates, not a single one to the final one. Went through Arclit in that E3, and now 07 having to run back here. 877 going to Rocks. Arclit doing the damage right now, and 07 not looking great. Fossa is reloaded, taking a shot, taking a second there. Not sure who he's aiming at. Looks like he's focusing on Blue Boy's captain. Probably the members Arclit Cove from the side. He takes down that SCO to T50, and that is another tank fallen for 07. Fossa just with one more shot away, and his SCO to Hill will be going down.
Vetro. Nope, he's going to grab the bunker. Stay alive for now. Great positional play from Vetro, trying to keep this game alive and take out Arclit. But it's a lost cause at this point. You got Ox and a bad chat sweeping all the way around. Both T22s have been flexing into that middle fight.
Yeah.
And even the people on the hill are mostly dead, with only Synergy being full health on the entire team of 07. So High Voltage keeping it alive with one defense so far in 07. But 07 just needs to win one defense of their own.
Just one.
One of anything of their own.
Anything.
And that's going to be a hard press, because Mines is a map that you can plan well enough and get comfortable well enough to come out ahead. But to go undefeated is a different thing.
Well, if I feel like if anyone can do that on Mines, it is High Voltage. Last season we saw just their amazing play on this map. Let's see if they can bring it back right now. Dave, as you said, they should be picking up this victory here any moment. Vetro taking a shot. He goes down. Wall hacks.
Wally.
Picks him up in the RE251. He wants to get. He wants to have part of it. He wants to have part of the fun. Synergy 3K and Warband are still on top of the hill. They're just kind of a lost cause, like you said, David, for them. They are on offense. They're the ones who have to start pushing eventually against High Voltage, with 3 minutes and 20 seconds now going by on the clock. Fosta, I was gonna say, wow, he's still alive, but Oxthief gonna end that one. He's gonna flip as well. Starting to go on that reload and that bat jet. Synergy 3K, Warbander, and Camador are the only ones who are alive. They are all up on top of the hill. High Voltage knows where they're at. David, if you were High Voltage, would you collapse upon them? Is there any reason to push?
No, not so far.
Okay.
High Voltage struggling a bit with the head-to-heads, even though they've got a massive numerical
good call.
Numerical superiority
Good
here.
call.
That might be a reason to push to kind of overcome that, but that's playing with fire. If they then lost a tank or two in that push, but still won, it would rock them a little bit. They've got a very concrete defense here. What we should try to do is get into the game as quickly as possible for the next round, so that I can draw up exactly what was going on here with High Voltage, because it's a layered defense with a lot of intent to it. It is somewhat of a classic way to play Mines. It is fairly easily understood, but not particularly easy to figure out once you just take one look at it. You have to understand why each take is where it is.
All right, here Wallhack's taking a shot from Warbander, but he's going to get lit up by Arclit. 95 going down. Camador taking 321 from the Lighthouse. Shot after shot after shot, and Bird Thief does pick him up there. Nice angle coming up from that 50-51. Now it's just Synergy 3K. Now they're confident to just push up and take him down. They're going to show their dominance right now. 283 going into him. No breaks for High Voltage. Right on the side. A little bit of ram damage. Who is captain getting in? 345 going to him. Let's see if Synergy 3K can take Blue Boys down before he goes down himself. 1270, and Thief will. No, Ox Thief comes around from the back. Just giving us some more and more fantasy points. Ox, thank you for that. And that is now High Voltage's first victory here against 07 on the Mines, our second match of the night. Now, Dave, one of the things I was going to talk about right before that crazy push came through, and this is something you might be about to address, is the idea of how High Voltage started that by sending very aggressively a lot of their members down to the southeast. Southwest. And then being spotted out by 07. So 07 seeing that going, all right, let's not go there. Let's go all the way around. And while that was happening, we had Arclit starting to shoot and get ready to see and spot as many members coming on the side for the flank before they even got there. And by the time they got there, High Voltage rotated back up again. So it seemed like that was an entire planned thing. And is that what you were talking about? Is like it's kind of the classic way to run Mines?
You're right.
Cool.
Yeah. We'll explain to everybody exactly why you're right. We'll get into the next match, but for now, let's check out the stats.
Check out some statistics.
I think it's no surprise to everybody exactly what happened there. Arclit did a lot of damage. They just broke on his E3. And, hey, hello, most effective armor. The E3 can definitely throw its hat in the ring for that. 3,600 so far, the overall winner of the night for damage blocked. Granted, that's not particularly surprising. 42, 75, and 3 kills. That's just crazy. Roughly 1,500 for everybody else, and only 2K for Warbander.
Well done, Arclit.
For 07, they just didn't really find a good angle in there. Perhaps 07, well, we'll see. We'll see if they're ready to play this map, especially against a team like High Voltage.
Sure. Just like we talked about.
They only need one.
The study of this map too.
They only need one.
Yeah, and now they're going to be on defense, and they're going to be on offense, and they're going to be on defense. No. Yeah, defense. So they have 2 more defensive attempts to pick up a victory, but they just 4-0'd High Voltage. High Voltage can come back and 4-0 them. You guys just saw it happen, so let's see if High Voltage now can do that. Ladies and gentlemen, our next battle, again, 07 just needs one more. Can they take it now, or can High Voltage keep it alive? Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
High Voltage with 250Bs, a Bat Shadow 907, 2 T22s, an RU51, 07 with an I-7, 2 907s, 2 T22s, a T54, and a T50 Skoda. So, is what I was talking about. High Voltage had 2 tanks here and here, the E3 here, RU-251 here, and then I believe 3 mediums here, both T-22s and a 140. That way, if you come down this way, you can get cross-supported from here, from there, and then these 2 are free to do whatever they need to.
Flex, sure.
If you come down this way, you can get cross-supported from these directions. Wally can shoot him from behind, and then all this unit drives over here for shots across this way, so actually spotting them as early as possible is a good thing, and then you can send 1 tank up this side for side neutral.
Alrighty, though, we have a hill battle going out. Blue Boys captain takes a little bit of damage, gets tracked, but doesn't get punished for it, and he takes the hill now with that batch at 07. Has to be careful because the hill control now looks like it is over to High Voltage. Wallhacks able to assist from the side. Do a little bit of damage there to Fossa. 254 going to that T54.
TP's in the middle, Arclit. If 07 decided to simply step up and try and boss Enter Arclit right now, on either side of that, they could probably get it done.
Really?
And get a kill. The big thing here is Bird would see them coming, and they're probably spending a little bit of time trying to get that. But 1 shot into Anthief in a very tricky penetration, and Bird still flirting with danger quite a bit. 07 beginning to start to step up. Perhaps they're waiting for these 50Bs. They are on defense, and Bird taking 785. High Voltage is not losing this head-to-head as now their 50Bs are stepping in. They got to make every shot counter. It's going to go real bad for High Voltage.
Over 1,400 points of damage going into Warbander there. He has to back up. There's the little focus fire coming for High Voltage, but Tiger Thief takes down Vetro. Ox Thief taking a lot of damage himself. That was still actually relatively helpful there in that 50B. Now bringing the 50Bs back. High Voltage looks like they're making it work here on top of the hill. HP-wise, about 600 in the lead against 07. They are now a tank up. Who was captain? Gonna poke over on the side. Look at Cameron.
Blue Boys is toast if they see it. He's too close. All they got to do is step up with the right amount of people. It's worth the damage to take out Blue Boys.
Warbander takes 379 though. 1 more shot. He'll be going down. Blue Boys captain is gonna take it, and that is another tank dropping for 07. Blue Boys is gonna be alive. Cameron still very healthy there in that IS-7. High Voltage continue to take some shots. Anthief getting focused out. 805 going into him. 1 more. He'll be going down, but he gets to safety behind that rock. And we talk about the rock that the Kings go to die on. The hill that they go to, I heard a term that was referred to. It sounded awesome, and I butchered it. So
good quote.
The quote of the night. Hey, do you know that rock? It's the rock that the Kings are at. Camador takes down Anthief in that T22. Now that is the first tank falling for High Voltage. So 07 still in this.
And he's going to take out another tank higher tier than him for the second
Man,
game in a row.
Wallhacks, do not go head-to-head with this man. Just don't. He's going to do this to you live in front of people.
That's what a good scout is. He knows when he's got the advantage. He takes advantage of it. He doesn't throw his life away unless it's going to be something big. And that right there, granted, a lot of this was already starting to be in High Voltage's favor, but that right there changes a lot as Wallhacks can now get further south and shoot all these tanks from behind. And 07 just being too hesitant to pull the trigger at the right times. If you let the 50Bs have the high ground and fire down on you, they will win. If you try and make the 50Bs climb from the other side of the hill, they don't stand as good of a chance. I can't say they'll lose.
What is the depression on the 50B?
I couldn't tell you the exact number, but it's pretty decent.
Okay.
It's not fantastic, but I think that has a little bit to do with the turret placement, among other things.
Ox Thief,
but it's it's reliable enough.
Ox and Tiger come around the side there. 907 joined by their 250Bs. The 907 Bird Thief taking him out there. And that is another kill. Blue Boys captain finds Camador, and it looks like High Voltage is going to keep it alive. Synergy 3K takes down Tiger Thief, but that is not going to be enough to save 07 here. He's going to pick up another victory. Arclit getting low. Synergy 3K, 1 more shot away. He might be able to take down Arclit before he goes down in the T22. Let's see if he does. No, Bird Thief is going to save his friend. Hashtag battle buddies for life. And Arclit takes down Mako's High Voltage now with their 2nd victory. Do I smell a comeback? Maybe. Again, we're talking about kind of the back and forth. I'm sorry. The back and forth here of kind of both of these. You know, it's 2, right? And that sounds okay. Well, we just need 1 more. We just need 1 more. High Voltage win another one. Now it's 3. Another one away from tying. They tie it up. It's like, uh-oh. You know, I mean, so this could tilt just like that. High Voltage is in a good position to do it. 07 just making a timeout here, so a very wise time, I would say, to do that before High Voltage starts to get back on a kind of a fiery spree. So perfect time, David, to go to
the stats.
Hey, let's do it.
High Voltage led off by Ox Thief. 2647 in his 50B. Then Wallhacks, somehow in a tier 8, 2nd damage, 2404.
I'm loving this.
Good job,
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Wally. Great job. In fact, Tiger right behind them with 2277. Arclit playing a very forward position, a tough position, 2093. Bird, 2031. And so on down the list. Makos leading off for 07, 2173. Synergy 3K, bouncing 1750, which is so far the highest in the match. 2152 in his T22. Commodore, yep, less. 1598. And Vetro down there at 1271 in his Object 907. So I feel like 07 could have won that a number of times. They need to recognize the strengths of their tanks. This is something where you look at lineups. You don't look at positions anymore as much. And you just have to consider what the 50Bs have to do to get to you.
Gotcha.
You have to make them pay for every inch, because if you can't, if you just let a 50B show up point blank and start shooting you, it's not a positive trade. It never will be, unless you have a bunch of tanks in the back that can auto-load or otherwise alpha him down very quickly. But two of them sharing on that corner when most of your tanks are to the east of them, so you don't have clean, straight-on shots. It's not
pretty.
It's not pretty at all. And 07 had everybody bottled up there. Nobody back in the K line as a drop back position. Nothing to guarantee that they could hold that spot of the hill they were on, which is just, it's the death zone. Completely. If you hold the southwest, you can easily fire into there. If you block them from coming up, they're stuck. They can't really rotate away any place very comfortably. So 07 needed to be anywhere but there.
Now, was that one of those situations, like you said, they had multiple opportunities to win? If they push on Blue Boys now, they can pick them up, or not win, but take some tanks.
Yes, I see this fairly often. As tanks on the hill, they come back to start engaging in that fight there in the middle.
Yeah,
and unless you're full health, it's suicide. I can't even I can't even count on both hands and feet how many times a tank would actually die if it attempted to shoot me when I was in that position.
Really?
And I'd have 4 or 5 tanks do it anyways.
Really?
Just pull up and try and shoot you.
Because
they want you off the hill. And sometimes it would cost them the game, but to me, I wanted to live, so it's still a little bit frustrating. It's like, well, you got me, but you lose.
Lost. Are you happy?
I would have rather you sit there and die slowly the way I expected you to as we continue to get position and fire on you.
Makes sense.
So him even coming back there at half health was
Scary.
Crazy. There was not enough damage to stop 07 from doing it. Both their 50Bs are reloading, and everybody else is going to get off one shot in that exchange. As most of 07 pulls up, hits him, and he's dead.
And that's just kind of missed opportunity from 07 there.
Yep.
Well, let's see if these missed opportunities can continue to be in High Voltage. Will come back. It is 2-4 now. High Voltage is back on defense. Let's go right into it and take a look at what we've got for our tanks.
I suppose there's a chance the terrain's slightly different from what I remember, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is.
Fair enough.
Wouldn't take a bad shot there, personally. At that point in the game. High Voltage with a bat shot at 140, 2 T22s, a TVP, and E3, and an RU-251. 07 with an IS-7, a bat shot, 2 907s, a T22, a T54, to Skoda T50.
All right, so this time 07 being very aggressive to take that hill. Makos is leading the charge. He is going to get spotted out there by Wallhacks. Wallhacks missing his shot, and Makos is going to get up on top of the hill. Free of charge. Now the rest of High Voltage doing kind of the same thing as last time, just with a... Maybe they have a different lineup? Different lineup than the first time they're on defense, correct?
No.
They had yeah. Oh, that's right.
Same lineup, different positions.
Different positions, yeah.
Somewhat.
Wallhacks is not back in position. He's more forward.
The Bat Shat is more forward. So the Bat Shat has moved from... you know what? We've got time.
Let's look at the map.
We've got time. The Bat Shat was here, so he's moved over here. The TVP's in the same place. The E3's in the same place. The T22s and the 140s were up here. They're still kind of there, although they've dropped back just a tad. And Wallhacks' RU-251 was here, not here. So it's just a slight shift of priority, more overall to the west.
Okay.
To make sure, probably meta expecting the last time 07 came down this way, so they're not going to try it again. They're probably going to go this way. So that makes a weird looking face.
Look at that guy.
Hello.
Is it a woman?
Good
Woman.
day, sir.
That's a woman.
With my weird looking hat.
Oh, now it's a man.
Cheerio.
That's a woman.
I don't know why he's an awful British accent all of a sudden. When he's
Hey, don't judge him. That's who he is.
Learn acceptance. People can be who they want to be. Perhaps I was born into the wrong nationality.
Maybe. We will never know. Now, what High Voltage has done to kind of maybe, like I said, meta predict what 07 would not do the second time, is that strong as what 07 did, which is push a lot of guys onto the the center of the hill? Is High Voltage's positions totally fine with what 07's doing?
Yes and no. So they're open in the east, and if you own the top of the hill, you can control the fight and win it, but it's not easy. High Voltage here probably knows that there are ways to break this, but they would rather do this and force a team to spend all of that effort attempting to break it than going to the middle and giving the team a better chance. So in a perfect environment, what High Voltage is doing is not safe, in my opinion.
Okay.
But they're expecting teams not to play perfectly, which is a great expectation.
Sure.
And also,
Sure.
things have changed a little bit from what I remember here, because the E3 changes a lot. In the past, you put an alpha tank here, but a lot of the alpha tanks at tier 8 can still be penetrated fairly easily. The E3 is not that. So things change a tad. But
Okay.
you can still feel things out, recognize that in order for this to work, the defending team needs to be biased towards one side. They cannot control both sides equally, or they will lose. Where Wallhax is right now is enough information for them to know he's not in the southeast.
Ah,
So if you process that for a minute,
okay.
and you can start spotting the rest of the tanks, which they have spotted a decent amount for 07, although they've allowed a lot of time for High Voltage to readjust them. What I'm getting at is, through deduction and observation, you could guess that the push you did last time is actually a better option this time. It's just a very uncomfortable
Wow.
thing to go
That's
with.
crazy.
Because it failed
Yeah.
so horrendously last
Yeah.
time. Mostly because of wall hacks.
So you
Honestly.
go, okay, listen, guys, like that happened once, not gonna happen again.
So you want to know the break for that?
Yeah.
Pretty much, you don't stop here
And fight.
and let this E3 bully you, and where then you try and get shots around here and the TVP lights you up, and if the bat chat feels, angry, he can light you up as well. The trick is, you just accept your fate. You take a lot of damage, you go right in here.
Huh. Okay.
And then Wally can't fight. He can't go toe-to-toe with you. And if you leave one guy like back here so he can kind of swoop in, the E3 can't turn
You've
to
also
deal with you
isolated all these guys
completely
over
either.
here.
All these guys can't fire across there. They
Right.
can only fire at this angle. Now, when the E3 is facing this way, you can shoot it right in the side.
Unfortunately, that is not what 07 is doing right now. Looks like they're taking it right to where High Voltage wants him. Foster taking a lot of damage. 304 in that T-54. One more shot. He'll be going down. And 07 just going to continue to push. Arclick going to stop Makos in his tracks. And that is a bat chat gone already for 07. Now Blue Boys captain takes some shots. Warbandit and Roxo not in a good position. Tiger Thief coming to join him there. 577 going there into that T-50. Roxo, be careful. Oh, just barely dodged a shot, but Bird Thief is loaded and ready in that 50-51. Two more shots he's got. Let's see if he can make a count there. Warbandit taking 332. And Thief takes down Foster. That is another member of 07 gone. 07 starting to apply some cap pressure with Commodore. Warbandit takes down Tiger Thief. Side has a tank falling for High Voltage. Warbandit takes down Blue Boys captain Deja Vu. And that is now two tanks tying it up as far as tanks goes. The HP, though, still in favor of High Voltage. But 07 trying to change that right now as they are doing some damage to Ant Thief and Bird Thief. And now the cap pressure, though, off. Commodore have stepped off there in that IS-7. Just too many tanks. We could have reset him easily. Vetro with that 907 on top of the hill. Be interesting to see where he goes. And Wallhax in the RU-251 is now behind every single member of 07. That is going to be a tricky tank to deal with. Again, we get those positions we talk about so often is you can't ignore him, but you kind of have to.
He's going to have to tuck back to make sure that Vetro doesn't spot him on his way in. Or rather, that Vetro isn't spotted on his own. Vetro is good enough to know somebody spotted him, somebody is being tricky in the back, and Vetro's going to go try and hunt him down. We'll see if he bothers continuing to spend too much time. Nope.
No,
Wallhax is hidden well enough to confuse Vetro. Vetro, however, is doing another lap. He knows he got spotted somewhere. He's like, okay, where did that happen? All right, I'm not spotted again. Interesting. Where did he go?
Huh.
Where did Wallhax go? Around a rock to guarantee he can't even spot where Vetro is. But now he does. He backs up. Let's see if he's interested in getting into this fight at all. And Wallhax no longer cares about
Wow.
anonymity, as distracting Vetro is actually a good thing, because here comes Ox right in from behind, and a nice wombo combo
Just
perfectly
enough
played
time.
from Wallhax and Ox.
Wow, another amazing opportunity, or another time to look at the battle play system. Arclet takes down Rocks there, and now it is just 3 members of 07 against the 4-4 High Voltage. HP such in favor of High Voltage, and Campbell trying to apply a cap pressure, but it is, so he's just kind of worthless there. As Oxley is going to come around the side. Wallhax is going to light him up. One shot there, and there's the reset. 45 seconds on the clock. 07 does not have enough time. They have to now find and kill every member of High Voltage, and with 37 seconds on the clock, it looks like that is just not going to be what's happening right now. Bird Thief coming around that 50-51. He still has all 4 shots, kind of just keeping Synergy 3K busy. Campbell just do what he can, applying on that cap pressure, and High Voltage is now about to win their 3rd victory, and one more, and they can tie it up here against 07. Bird Thief takes down Synergy 3K there. The T22 dropping. Ox Thief taking a lot of damage, but he knows he can take it right now. He just wants some shots. He just wants some points for all you guys out in fantasy out there. 6 seconds on the clock. And 07 just not enough to do to take it. Arca going off the side of the hill. And that is going to be High Voltage with their 3rd victory now. One more victory away from tying it up. And now it's just, again, this is what I love, this, like when the psychology comes in from both these teams. Because now 07's got to be like, I mean, now they're worried. They used their timeout already. Now they're one more game away from tying it up. And then we'll be going into the overtime, and the tiebreaker map is Muravanka. So it'll be interesting to kind of see. But again, just having such a huge lead and having another team come back, and now it's almost a complete out. Now High Voltage is like, hey, we're the ones on fire. We're the ones who can take it to them. What did you see there kind of in that fight that went, we talked about the push that 07 should have done, barreling all the way through. They didn't do that. They just had to go right into High Voltage. Was that just their main mistake?
Yes.
Okay.
They're not gathering intel appropriately enough to make the right decision, and perhaps they're making their decisions before gathering intel, because there should have been enough evidence there not to go west. Even though east wasn't great, it's better to try it again and do it better than it is to push into a situation that you should know is a loss. If you see that many tanks in the 1-2, you can't push it. Let's check out the statistics while we can, and we'll talk a little bit more about strategy on mines. Warbander for 07, 2488. Followed by Vetro 1700. Meanwhile, for High Voltage, check that out. 1600 blocked by Ants T22. 2637 in the T22. And then Wally, again, 2419 in an RU251. I think he's definitely trying to take that best scout in the league title.
Absolutely.
And so far, he's killing it tonight.
Absolutely is.
Bird, 2174. Arclet, 1851 and 3 kills. I mean, even he didn't bounce as much as that T22 did. There you have it. So you were saying, what did they do wrong besides pushing, doing the break that I was talking about? I should preface and say that what I'm talking about isn't necessarily guaranteed accurate in this instance.
Okay.
For a number of reasons. While I'm confident that that strategy can work. Now, let's say, for example, somebody had told me why High Voltage's strategy is unbreakable and why what I was drawing doesn't work. If they told me that before I figured it out on my own, it's under the confidentiality agreement that I give them. So I can't talk about it. In this instance, nobody talks to me about mines for some reason. They don't ask me questions. They don't. But
Mines was your
in this
map.
instance, usually I wouldn't even be allowed to say nobody told me anything about this map.
Wow.
Or nobody told me. This team didn't tell me. I can't give out anything that could even hint towards it.
Sure.
But in this case, well, let's get to the battle first.
All right, let's see if High Voltage can come back and tie it up, or will 07 find their 5th victory they've been longing so far to get. David, what do we got for tanks?
High Voltage with 250Bs, a Batchat, a 907, 2 T22s, and RU251, 07 the Batchat, 2 907s, 2 T22s, and 2 Skoda T50s.
I mean, mine was your map. I mean, that's what you guys
one of the ones
prided yourself on.
Indeed.
Uh-oh. Right now, Blue Boys captain being very aggressive. 07 going to try to stop him. We have a Batchat going head-to-head, but Smooth Molasses is going to get a cut out. 955 going on him, and the rest of 07 is actually just going to keep on following. Warbander going up on top there. 1359, so much damage. We talked about where do you want to shoot a tank?
Why?
It's from the back. Bird Thief takes down Warbander. Blue Boys captain has Smooth Molasses all day here. 2 tanks already gone. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we'll be going into a tiebreak here as High Voltage just took 2 tanks off of 07. And it looks like they're going to find a 3rd with Bossa there. And Thief takes him down. And that is 3 tanks gone down for 07. the comeback of the century. Ladies and gentlemen, is what you are witnessing right now here on Minds. Vetro taking a lot of damage. Anthe might be going down here. Synergy 3K does pick him up. 07 just trying to come back, but they are in such a huge deficit, almost
Nice block.
3,000 points down.
Not good
Berthy
enough.
takes him down. Makos, I mean, A for effort there. 797 going to that T22.
Ooh.
Wallhack's already come around from the side. Now he's made it through. He picks up rocks in the Skoda, and now he's looking for Synergy 3K. He backs off down. He's actually going to find Makos here. But again, this is the beauty of when you say you're playing the scout. Now it's just like fun. You get to rake up some damage here. Blueboy's captain takes out Makos. Synergy 3K as all that is up. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going into a tiebreaker. High Voltage has picked up their 4th victory now against 07. And that was a pretty quick victory indeed.
That might have been what they needed to pick the right
Man.
side of Muravanka.
Man, that was that was a quick assault.
Let's look at the stats.
My gosh. Oh.
Let's not wait. You know what? I always forgot. I always forgot the clapper.
Yeah, clever.
Bird, 3,200 with the 907. Ant T22 2000. Arclit with 1.7. Blue Boys 1.6, etc.
My
Let's check your
gosh.
bounce damage. And I believe
What a spread.
so we just heard that High Voltage does indeed get to pick, and I believe that match was the one that decided it. A minute and 42
Wow.
is what we're hearing.
Whew.
That is crazy.
Cliff,
Is that battle?
Cliff
Minute
and Mines.
42 right there.
Cliff and Mines. That is those are the 2 maps that we would always love to see.
And that's extremely rough for 07 because they had been playing aggressively, and that was their ploy to damage morale in a sense, to cause that tilt. Another way of doing that is to simultaneously pull the steam out of your opponent and kind of double down on that. So you play attrition, you play slow, and you make their aggression just fizzle out.
Right.
And everywhere they go, they take a little bit of damage, and they can't really find the right angle they want to go to. Apparently, High Voltage does 2 things. One, chose defense and took a timeout.
There we go. So I wanted to go into this one again. Both teams now 1 more victory away to taking it. And 07, man, after such an amazing, strong start, High Voltage just mirrors it right back at him, picks up 4 onto Mines, and now we're into the tiebreaker. And I mean, I would rather be High Voltage now. I mean, you're just coming off of an amazing victory. It's almost like 07's 4 wins didn't even happen.
True. I mean, morale-wise, that is exactly how it feels a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But it's all on the table. And a High Voltage, under pressure, they functioned this most recent time. They functioned just fine. They brought back 4 games, so perhaps they can continue keeping that up under pressure. Perhaps 07 is now on tilt a little bit. 07 does have to break a defense, but we haven't seen these teams square off on Muravanka before today.
Sure.
And that could change everything. Honestly, the Muravanka offenses from High Voltage previously weren't particularly great. They weren't showing a lot of skill on this map so far, a lot of strategic depth.
We saw them against Noble.
Yes, and they did not bode well on this map in particular,
right.
so it
That's
might
right.
not be
That's true.
a good one for them. And it could be another bit of tilt. If you think about it, every little thing has an angle, right? So you start losing a tank, or you lose a tank early, and you'd be like, oh, here we go. We're going to throw on Muravanka again, guys. And everybody just
mute him.
Everybody goes faster off the edge than Simp did off that cliff last
Nice.
week.
That was great.
When you feel it go, it goes fast, and there's very little you can do to get it back.
Is there anything you would do on a team? Like if you have team members who are tilting or raging, do you mute them? Do you go, guys, I can't do
you
this?
can't mute them because you have to maintain communication. You have to. The
That's
only thing you
way
can do
more
is fix it
important.
outside of the battle. With newer players, there is some stuff you can do. With experienced players, if they can't maintain themselves,
Hard.
you as a captain can't maintain them anymore.
Makes
Any
sense.
trick you
Makes
have
sense.
is going to just be lip service, essentially. It's like, well, yeah, focus 1 battle at a time or whatever, right?
Like, shut up.
And they're like, I know, dude. It's
Yeah.
like, well, you obviously, you know, but you're not feeling it. And
Right.
that's the big difference. Because those things that you used to use in the beginning to keep yourself calm,
Which was, like, great
keep
and
yourself
awesome.
perspective, you now have an expectation of winning. You've put in so much work, you feel like you should be doing better. And all of those little things start to eat away at your ability to just let it all go and focus on the game in front of you. Because you've been around too long. You got too much baggage now.
Oh man, I do not envy these guys one bit. Huge
That's how
just
burnout happens.
weight on these shoulders. But now, ladies and gentlemen, You guys been waiting for is the tiebreaker between High Voltage and 07. High Voltage on defense, 07 on offense on Muravanka. Let's get right into it and take a look at what we've got for tanks.
High Voltage with an IS-7 and E5, a 907, 2 STBs, a T-22, and an AMX 1390. 07 with an IS-7 and E5, a Batshot, a 907, a TVP, an E3, and an RU-251.
Just one more.
Real crazy tank selections here. And yeah, just one more.
For both these teams.
For
just
everyone involved.
Just one more, 07. Just one more, High Voltage. This is all you guys got to do.
The only thing that I think is fairly safe to assume in this situation, well, there be two. One, the E5 will very likely be in the 2 column, just a little bit west of that ridge. 07, or sorry, High Voltage doing a lot of firing into buildings to get them out of the way on their way into town. You can see how some teams, like you said, decide to alter the terrain for themselves. The T-22 and the STBs lining up on an early position to get damage if somebody makes a mistake. And then I would not be surprised to see those STBs rotate into the 1 line if they see somebody to be concerned about over there. But otherwise, they're going to work these hills right here. Get a lot of cross shots. This is one of the most powerful areas in this entire map. You can fire all over the place. And with an STB, you're not taking a huge risk in how much damage you're going to take. For High Voltage, though, they've already got their positions nice and set up. They've got wall hacks deposited in this place in its 1390. We've seen this bush used a couple times in the past. It is a bit vulnerable to blind fire and some passive scouting deduction, or sorry, active scouting deduction to learn where he is, but maybe he'll stay alive a little bit longer. 1390 is certainly harder to hit than a lot of tanks, so you might be able to keep him alive. Ox backing him up just a little bit in case anybody wants to get a little bit too close. He can get down into this divot, another one of these situations where it looks flat from above and you get close.
Yeah.
And this is one thing that's happened a lot with these maps. When I first started playing, they were very flat.
Really?
And it made it very easy to know where you wanted to go because you had to move from hard cover to hard cover. And maybe a couple of ridges. Over the years, Wargaming has definitely added in a lot of places to go haul down on these maps. Stronger corridors, all sorts of stuff. Bigger, stronger terrain features to keep tanks alive. So there's always these little spots that these pros find where you think you've got a nice flank. You're looking in the minimap, and you realize, oh, there's a hull down 140 in there, or 62A, and I can't overmatch the roof with the tank I'm in. He's just going to slaughter me.
Wow.
And that happens sometimes.
And that's also not going to feel good in that position. Not going to feel good at all. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far in, let us know who you think is going to win this victory. Will it be High Voltage? Will it be 07? 5 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock. You got plenty of time to choose. But you got to choose now, because if you choose with there's one tank alive for the team, then that doesn't count.
Foster doing some interesting scouting here. He got lit after doing some poking, pulled off into a place where he couldn't be shot, and then stopped completely. You have to consider that these teams are aware. Ooh, there's a lot of blind fire coming out from 07 towards past Fosta into some bushes down. Fosta's not lit anymore. I'm not entirely sure why that's happening. I mean, it's not a great place for a tank. He could just go check it with his face. There's got to be some sort of miscommunication going on there, because that makes 0 sense.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll say, I don't really know why they're doing that, because I'm giving them a little bit of room for doing something I don't understand. Maybe it's new meta. That made no sense.
Okay.
So that does not bode well for 07 right now. They could have potentially spotted out. Oh, hello. Just in time, perhaps. Perhaps their instincts were correct in this instance, but just in time, 07 starting to notice High Voltage is pushing up the eastern side, which makes the western side a little bit more vulnerable if 07 dives onto the western side and takes out the tanks that are there and gets good spots over here on the east.
Wow.
They could cap fast and block High Voltage from coming back to defend. This is a game, ladies and gentlemen.
This could be 07's victory right here, as Wallhacks took a lot of damage in that 1390, 64 seconds on the cap. We have Warbander in the IS-7 is the one who's applying that for 07. 310 going to Rocks, but it looks like, David, they're doing exactly what you said. They're going to try to start overmatching here on the northwestern side. Rocks, though, taking 675. Blue Boys captain chased him down there. Anthony taking a nice shot at him as well. And it looks like he actually might have to stay right there. And Oxsteve has a lot of shots on him. He might be going down any second here. He does have 3 shots left. 305 going into him. He's not doing any damage to Oxsteve in return. Oh, no, he's going to be going down. 4-4-0 indeed. And Oxsteve picking up the first kill of this tiebreaker battle. Warbanner having to get off of the cap. And now High Voltage looks like they've neutralized kind of the aggression and the momentum that 07 has. But we are in the kind of a very interesting position as far as both of these teams goes. High Voltage now already in that center. We talked about the idea that that center village is not a place you want to really be.
Well, that's a two-way street. It's hard to fire into it. It's hard to fire out of it. It's a little bit easier to fire in, honestly. You get that elevated look, kind of, well, how we have now, or more how Synergy 3K has it. And you get a little bit of a look down into terrain that's otherwise very difficult to see through. There's so much junk in the middle of that town that doesn't catch your shot, and does catch your shot, depending on what you're firing. And it's just very difficult to fire through there, let alone to know, well, I could fire twice and make a hole to keep firing. Because there are some indestructible buildings in there as well. It's just a big mess. Vetro's going to go off to try and solo Arclit. This is something that should have happened a little bit while ago, as he's been alone for quite a long time, and 07 is starting to wake up and realize there are strategic opportunities here. As High Voltage is rotating back across the south, they're going to look for their own angle in, and Vetro is now far more exposed than he was expecting before.
Now Arclit taking some damage there, starting to push each other back toward the red line, the edge of the base. 360 going into the I-7. Vetro should be able to take him down here, but now he's taking some fire from the rest of High Voltage. Starting to get some cover here, and the push from High Voltage now going back across, but there are 12 seconds on the cap. Magos, Warbanner, and Fossa are putting the pressure on. Vetro takes on Arclit. It's going to be up to Bird Thief and Tiger Thief to get the reset here. It has dropped down to 5, 4, 3 seconds, down to 2. Bird Thief lining up the shot. 1 second. The reset goes in just in time on the Magos, but Smooth Molasses does fly in Blue Boys Captain. That is a take falling for High Voltage. Ox Thief takes down Magos here, and the battle has begun. High Voltage now dropping in HP-wise, and now it takes the lead is 407. Fosta takes down Bird Thief there, but he is one shot away himself. Ox Thief going head-to-head against Synergy 3K, getting backed up by Wallhacks, but Tiger Thief finds a kill. Warbanner takes down Ant Thief. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like 07 might be able to pick up this victory. Ox Thief will possibly take down Synergy 3K before Smooth Molasses gets here. Let's see if he does. No Smooth Synergy. No, the shot bouncing right off of Synergy 3K. Smooth Molasses in the backside loaded. Will take down Ox Thief, and this looks like it's going to be 07's victory. Tiger Thief, though, takes down Vetro. There is only 60 seconds left on the clock. High Voltage just need to hold out for that much longer. 686, though, going to Tigers is going to make that a lot more difficult here. 07 going to start putting that cap pressure on again. No. This is what they've got to do. Wallhacks is going to be reloaded possibly in that 1390. He might be able to stall this game out for the remainder time. And if Tiger Thief can stay alive, this could be this could be High Voltage. This could be 07. I'm not comfortable to call it yet.
It's on Wallhacks to come in and get the reset at the right time. Tiger Thief cannot overplay. He's the one that has to stay alive. He can shop for maybe one shot after people turn for Wally, but Wally has to suicide scout. I'm not sure the timing is there.
He got the
gets
reset.
A reset. 8 seconds left. Wally's got his own 7 seconds. He picks up Synergy 3K, and it looks like High Voltage might stay alive. They have to get away. 10 seconds left on the clock, starting right now.
This is what they're doing. It's down to 9. 07 has to chase it down. They do not have enough time, and Wallhacks is getting out of there. Smooth Molasses is not even going to chase him. 07 looks like they're just going to give it to High Voltage, and ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be High Voltage's 5th victory of the night, their 5th victory in a row. What an amazing comeback for them, and an amazing tiebreaker game to end it out. My gosh, so good. Maybe start seeing Muravanka more. Let's just have this set all night. Let's just have this set just Cliff, Mines, and then Muravanka like that. I'm good. I'm happy. What a battle.
Let's check out the stats.
Let's go to stats. Woohoo!
Let's start off with High Voltage.
Let's take it down.
Let's take it down a notch. Gotta let the blood pressure catch. We don't want anybody to need a hospital today. 2,500 for Ox is 907. Bird 2,500 as well in an E5. Tiger Thief 2,400, an incredibly clutch shot there to help reset everything. 94 with the HE in the right place at the right time.
Perfect.
Perfect.
That's how you do it.
Over here, Wallhacks 1121 and some very clutch play on his own there. Wally, I think it's safe to say right now, is winning the #1 scout in the league competition.
For sure.
Arclit and everybody else not as much into the fight here. Now let's go to 07, Synergy 3K and his E3, 4,506 shots.
My
6
gosh.
perfect, sweetly perfect shots.
Synergy.
Vetro behind him at 3,786, doing crazy amount of work. Vetro put so much of the team on his shoulders to make things happen there. And if it weren't for a couple other players, wow. Smooth Molasses 17-44 in a bad chat. And everybody just getting an awkward situation. Rocks going down virtually for free in the beginning of that game.
Yeah.
Would have changed everything. Just everything.
Crazy close battle. Fantastic play from both of these teams, but congratulations to High Woltage for picking up another victory. Ladies and gentlemen, our second match is done. Our third match is coming right up.